It is Tech Tuesday, episode 3, where every Tuesday I show you a piece of tech that you just might like. Today we're going to be taking a look at this keyboard, which is the keyboard that I recommend pretty much everybody gets. Okay, so for context, I am a huge keyboard nerd. I build and manufacture them myself. This is one I made last year, but almost nobody's gonna do this. So I'm gonna show you my favorite off-the-shelf option, and that is the Keychron line of keyboards. This is the Keychron K3, which is my favorite. You can find a link to it in my bio there. Here's why these things are so great. So all Keychron keyboards are super well-built mechanical keyboards that come in right around the $100 price point, if not a little bit less. They work fully wirelessly via Bluetooth or wired via USB-C, and they work with either Mac or Windows, having a mode for each with a simple selector switch. They come with backlighting, either the white backlighting or RGB for all you gamers. And on top of that, these things are just absolutely gorgeous. The gray keycaps with the orange accents looks fantastic on literally any setup. And that's the footnotes. It's a rock solid built mechanical keyboard that's wireless that works with Mac or Windows, but there's quite a few different options you have to choose from when buying a Keychron keyboard, so let's go through those. The first major option that differentiates their models is the switch profile. Keychron has these low profile mechanical switches, which allow the keyboard to be really thin and compact while still having a great mechanical response. These switches are amazing and I love them. They make for a really good typing form factor while also allowing this thing to be really portable. The alternative to the low profile switches are standard mechanical switches. You can see the standard switches here on one of my other boards. The other major decision you'll face when choosing your keyboard is the switch type. There's different types of switches that actually go underneath the keys in mechanical keyboards. You get to choose from 3 types on the Keychron keyboards. The first one being blue switches. Blue switches are really loud and really clicky. They're the types you normally think of when you hear a mechanical keyboard. You'll hear they're very noisy and there's a physical bump when you're pressing the switches. The second types are browns. Browns are a switch that are linear, so there's no click, but they're a little bit harder to press. And then reds, which are the same, no click, but they're a little bit lighter to press. Rule of thumb, if you're typing, go with browns. If you're gaming, go with red. If you don't know what to choose browns. Last decision you'll need to make is the layout of the keyboard, what keys are available on the board. I really love this 70% layout, where you still get full arrow keys and a full keyboard with it still being very compact. This model with the low profile switches and the 70% layout is called the K3. This is the one I'll have linked in my bio, and this is the one I highly recommend for almost everybody. Another common option is the K2, which is the same keyboard layout, but with the full-size switches, if you prefer those. You'll see down here where you actually select the switch types once you've decided on your keyboard, whether you want the browns, blues, or reds. And this here, for example, is the K4. That's a full-size layout with the number pad that has the full-size switches. There's a whole bunch of different models that you can poke around with, but they're all different combinations of the keyboard layout itself and then the switch profile. However, if that all seems overwhelming, you could be pretty confident going with the K3. Like I said, this thing kind of checks all the boxes and I absolutely love this. I daily drive this fairly regularly. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments there. You can find this keyboard linked in my bio, and thank you for watching Tech Tuesday. I'll catch you in the next one.